So I've come to this realization, well, not really just come to it. I've been aware that maybe my view on education isn't the current trend, and I'm okay with that. I realize that in looking at learning styles and now like it's skills-based learning, not everybody knows about it and how it can be such a rich and rewarding educational experience for our children. So I'm doing this series on skills-based learning, which I absolutely love. Last week I looked at what is it, and today I want to look at skills-based learning. How does it work? Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for subscribing and for the likes and the comments. That really means the world to me. Don't forget, you can subscribe and you can like, and I would love to know your comments. Well, skills-based learning, I love it. I just think it is such a rich, rewarding way that we can be providing this education for our children. And it's not just, we get through school and we're done, but we are helping them to be enriched through life. Now, I've come up with my little formula, that I think just works so well, the 4C's and the 3R's. Remember, we talked about that last week in skill-based learning. What is it? And those 4C's, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. And when we combine those with our 3R's of reading, writing, arithmetic, we really have a great educational experience. Now, we are not just getting rid of content-based knowledge-based learning. No. That's not it. We don't just throw all of that out and just primarily focus on skills-based learning. But what we are doing is we're flipping the priority. Okay, we are not solely focused on this is the content that must be learned. We have to get through all of these subjects, through all of this content, and if we don't, they do not have a proper education. No, we're flipping that and we're saying these are the skills that need to be learned, and these skills are not just going to set them up for school, but for the rest of their life. And these skills are supported by this fun and interesting and rich content and the facts and all of that. Does that make sense? Like, that's how it works. It's taking the skill and supporting it with the content. You see, we get our skills build and develop through practice, through doing, trial and error, totally falling flat on our face and making mistakes, getting better and just saying, what can we do? And the more that we practice them, the easier that it is. It becomes that second nature. And of course, we don't want to really just practice it on the same thing, do we? And that's where the content comes in. That's when we go, oh, this is my skill, and here is some great content that will help me practice that skill. So does that make sense? That's honestly how it works. Now, you can think of it really as working backwards. Think about those math problems, those word problems where it's like, what's this? And if I go back this way, I'll get the answer. So in a way, it's like that, because we're not just taking this content like, oh, here is my subject. I am going to be learning this right now. And maybe there's a little bit of skill like smattered in there, but the primary focus is that I need to learn all of these facts, all of these dates, all of these people, whatever it is. But we're coming to, these are the skills that I need, and this is the content that will help me practice it. So let's think, okay, a great skill. Yes, being able to read something and then put it into your own words. Ding, ding, ding. This has been something I have seen time and time again over the years lately that I've been private tutoring, and especially for students that have some issues learning that they don't know how to do it. They've never actually really been taught or given the proper practice to be able to develop that skill. And so I sort of think, okay, I really, really want my child to be able to read something and then communicate it to me in their own words so that I can get that they understand it. And it could be something like, all right, we're going to read this novel, and now you either write a book report or tell me about it or whatever it is that shows the understanding, building up that communication skills. Or maybe in history, it's like, I want you to be able to read these primary sources, this textbook, and then, put it together, like make a timeline or write an essay or whatever it is that shows me that you understand what you've read, but you've been able to put it into your own words. Because that's how plagiarism is happening so much that kids are just copying and pasting and not understanding, like, if we're not really going to properly reference it, that, you know what, we're plagiarizing. But we can take that idea, we can present it in our own way that shows that understanding. Same with opinions, even like we look at problem solving as another skill. Okay, so I want them to know this. Well, let me provide some obstacles, or let's do a science experiment as we work through the steps and all of that. So I'm not focusing on, I have to learn this content, but instead I'm taking this skill and I'm saying, ooh, this is what I want to use so that we can practice it. And, then it can be content that is maybe what, all their peers are learning. If it's really important to you that they stay with what their friends are learning, like in school, do that. Or if it's more interest-based, then do that. Remember, we have these opportunities to really provide a rich experience for our children. And so let's do it. Let's teach these skills that go beyond just school, those 4C's. Let's go beyond just the reading, writing, arithmetic. Let's combine it. Let's make it work. Remember, skill supported by rich content is going to provide a wonderful experience. Well, next week, I want to look at how we can incorporate it. So what are the things that we can do to really make it work? And then I'm going to have some great weeks of giving you some activities based on each of these different 4C's, which is just fun, and some of the skills that we have. Well, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for next week as we work out how to incorporate it. But also, if you didn't check out last week's on what is skills-based learning, don't forget to check it out. Now, if you would love to see more of these videos, get to see me talking about education or parenting or the things that come my way, you can do that by becoming a champion, and you can check that out at patreon.com or at my website, LearningThis.Life.